I'm glad to say Mary K Burke is here, and we'll be talking with her, playing tracks from her album next.
I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now, right now. I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now, right now. But don't make him wait, child, don't you hesitate, come on along, come on along. I wanna dance, I need romance, baby, right now, come on over, right now. I wanna dance, I need romance, baby, right now, come on over, right now, right now. Oh, don't you let me down, child, don't you mess around, come on along, come on along, right now. Let's think of something to do and let's do it. Let's think of somewhere to go and let's go. And when you put your loving arms around me, oh, you know I love you so. I need a thrill, say you will, baby, right now, come on over, right now. I need a thrill, say you will, baby, right now, come on over, right now, right now. Oh, don't let me down, child, don't you mess around, come on along, come on over, come on along, right now. To do and let's do it. Let's think of somewhere to go and let's go. And when you put your loving arms around me, oh, you know I love you so. I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now. Come on over, right now. I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now. Come on over, right now, right now. Oh, don't make him wait, child, don't you hesitate, come on along, come on over, come on along.
Right now and right here is Mary K Burke, and well, welcome back into Celtic Music Radio, Mary.
How you doing, Stuart? Great to be here.
Yeah, not too bad. I was actually thinking back when we first started the regular Celtic Music Radio. You were my first studio guest, so it's like full circle here.
That's right, and that I think that after that was a couple of weeks after that.
Yeah, you got your own show. Yeah,
I got my own show then. So I must have said something right or wrong, maybe. I don't know.
The rest, as they say, is
history. Yeah.
So you had an album out back then. Now I had known you in the past for your work in the country music clubs, but at that time you had an album out that was veering more to the folk scene.
I was, yeah, because I, as you know, was on the country scene for years, and I left the music scene altogether and decided to go back and get more education, and went back to school again, basically, or back to college, and I learned a lot about sound and about music law, and just everything to do with the music industry and stuff. And I'm already a webmaster, so I just kind of put all them skills together then, and I decided to do a folk album at that point because, as I told you, to me there's not a big difference between the both, and I was brought up with folk and country music, and at that time that's what I kind of felt drawn to, and I still like folk music. I mean, there will be more folk songs, don't worry about that, but there was always still a kind of, I think when you like country music, it's just always...
It's in your blood.
It's in the blood, I just started to see some of the bands in Ireland and the way the country music scene is over there at the moment. And I decided, well, why not? I was brought up with it. Big Tom was on the radio when I was running about in a nappy. And, all these people, Larry Cunningham and Just
Philomena
it's Philomena
and
Begley.
yeah.
I mean, when I first come to Scotland, I was singing Rambling Man and Truck Driving Woman, you know.
Yeah.
And I think at that time, you know, I probably based myself loosely on the type of songs that Philomena Begley was singing at that time. But it seemed different then when I came over here because they wanted more kind of American country stuff, you know, around the country music scene in Scotland. So I suppose I developed it to be country and to be Irish in some places and whatever. So I just see myself now as a singer and a writer, and you know, whatever scene I'm going to end up on, that's what I'll do. If somebody wants me to play at their folk club, I'll quite happily come there, and the same goes for a country club. And I really want to do concerts now. That's what I'm hoping for, you know, because I'm getting a bit older now. Stuart. I don't want to be standing up on the stage for 3.5 hours anymore.
Yeah, you've got the new album out, so I guess when you actually look back, it's been quite a spell between the two albums. But yeah, a few of the songs have sneaked out over the years that's on this album.
They have, yes. Somebody once told me, you know, the best way to gauge how or what songs to put on your album is, you know, to try ones live at your gig. So I think most of the songs are based on that, you know, that I've had a good response to them when I'm out, and you know, people come back and ask for them and stuff. So between that and using my own real taste in country music, which I think isn't my own personal taste, is more kind of rootsy country stuff, and you know, I love the old country stuff, you know, like there's a Tom T. Hall song on the album, and you know, Tanya, as you know, when I was on the country music scene, that's what I was called, Tanya, and it was because I had a load of Tanya Tucker CDs. At the time I was pitting, I think when I was joining Nevada at that time, and I was trying to learn songs really quickly, so I had loads of hers, and somehow that name just kind of stuck. Yeah,
even after the Nevada days, it was Tanya and Sneaky Moon, but Sneaky Moon was a Tanya Tucker song, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and if you remember, some choreographer made a line dance, and suddenly our band became extremely popular because people were coming to do the line dancing thing to it. And I think after a while, though, you know, the scene changed quite a bit at that time, as you know yourself, and a lot of the bands that were around Scotland at the time broke up, and suddenly, you know, you had three duos that used to be one band, you know, playing in these different places. That still saddens me because I really like live bands. I don't particularly like drum machines or anything that's not real and not been played, you know. To me, there's nothing to beat the real life sound, and that's the kind of sound that I want to develop now and go out there with a band, because I know I can do it. You know I can do it because I did it. I did it before.
Well, so on this new album, you are sort of certainly veering back to the country, but it's not a full blown. There's still plenty there for your folk fans on this album.
Absolutely, there is. I've kept a couple of songs. There's one on it called Mulroy Bay, which I'm sure people from Donegal will know well, and you hear that kind of song a lot, you know, in Ireland, and so I thought I've got to. I tried to put something on to represent different types of country music, I suppose, you know, from the contemporary to the traditional, and to the Irish, and to the more kind of rocky Mary Chapin Carpenter type stuff, and I tried to do it in such a way as well that I wasn't, you know, it wasn't just a lot of albums you look at, and you know, one song comes out and it ends up on everybody's album, and I try to be a wee bit different in that way if I can, you know. Whether that's a good thing or not, I'm not sure. But
well, we'll have a listen to the title track to the album, Sweet Is the Melody. We'll come back and talk some more.
All right.
Sweet is the melody, so hard to by, so hard to make every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Well, the dance floor's for gliding, not rushing over ponies, where boots and gold bracelets come meet as they should. It's for celebrating the Friday night romance, forgetting the bad stuff and just feeling good. Sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Oh, an arm is just an arm till it's wrapped round a shoulder. Lips side by side, we go stepping out together. A note's just a note till you wake from your slumber and try to discover a new melody. Oh, sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. And a tune for the dancing is there in its place.
Sweet is the melody. That's the title track to Mary K Burke's album. 14 tracks on it, and well, that's sort of makes it. It's not out of place on the Irish and maybe even not on the folk scene as well, but quite country too.
Yeah, because I think people on the folk scene and people on the country scene like that, I mean, Iris Dement to me is you couldn't get much more country. But it's more kind of, she's got this kind of Appalachian kind of sound to her voice, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I could never sing like Iris Dement. Nobody could ever sing like her. But I think the way that she writes her lyrics and things like that, they're very, very hard to sing. Some of her songs are hard to sing. So I spent quite a lot of time learning Iris Dement songs. There's actually 2 of Iris's on the album.
The other one being Mama Always
was telling her
truth, which I was...
yeah, and that one's on there. I actually put that on for my mum, and as you know, she passed away on the 9th of October. And I was quite sad because she never got to hear the album, and she would have just loved that song, you know, and it's about Iris Dement's mum, but it reminded me so much on my own mother, and the way, you know, one of the lines is when sort of something went wrong, she might start yelling or crying, and my mother would have been like that with us, you know, but just out of worry for us and whatever. She was also quite a you know, person of faith, you know, and she believed in God and all that, and you know, she despaired of all the rest of us that she brought up, that she, you know, she couldn't get us out to go to the chapel or to do anything, you know. She says, I don't know where I went wrong, but Iris Dement's mother, she was the same one. It was kind of a gospel church or whatever. So the part about her sitting watching her mummy in the church, you know, singing to God or whatever. Again, that all reminded me of my mum. And you know, I come from a big family as well, and that house of ours, and it's a very, very small living room. It's not much bigger than the studio in here. And I've seen maybe 25 people in that living room at one time, and my mum sitting there quite happy, because that's what she liked. She just liked everybody around her. She would also wouldn't be long telling you if you did something she didn't like. So she was just a great mother. I'm sure everybody thinks the same of their mother. But that's the sad thing about the album. She never. She asked me the day I came over, the day before she died. The first thing she said, I hope you've got that album with you, because I want to buy one. And I said, Mum, I think it might stretch to giving you one. And that's what she was like. She went, no, you'll not be giving me one. I'll be buying one. I'll be making sure everybody else buys one as well. So so now I suppose it's on there, and it's for me and my sisters and my brothers. We can listen to it probably further down the line and you know, laugh about some of the things in it. But it probably means more to me now than it did when I was actually putting it on the album.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it a play.
Aye, all right. Okay.
Well, my mama was always telling her truth. Times were hard, and that's how she made it through. When it came to her feelings, there wasn't no back burner on that stove. And when something went wrong, she might start yelling or crying. If you didn't know better, you'd think one of us was dying. But that was Mama, and she just told her truth. I was sitting in the church house right there beside her. Mama would move and the Spirit would guide her, waving her hands up to heaven, singing her truth. But if the preacher said something and she didn't like it, her head would go to shaking, she just wouldn't hide it. And that was Mama, she just told her truth. When I was a kid coming in from school, I said, Mom, I'm so worried something could happen to you. And if you die, oh Mama, what am I gonna do? She said, Mary, just because I'm older than you, don't be sure you won't go before I do. And that was Mama, she just told her truth. It was my mama who taught me I could tell my truth. And sometimes it's all that I could do. Looking in from the outside, it may not seem like much, but I'll tell you now, if that's what you're thinking, the truth can be the difference between swimming and sinking. I think my mama just told me her truth. If she was glad, she took you with her. If she was sad, she took you too. There wasn't a lot of traveling she didn't do. Right there in that little house was a bigger world than I may ever see. Some people liked it and some people didn't. For some of what she said, she may never be forgiven. But that was Mama, she just told her truth. A life with my mama could sometimes be a rough road. She could say something and blood would burn in my soul. But I wouldn't trade 1 mile of this journey me and her have been on. 'Cause I've loved my mama like I never loved another. As long as I live, there'll be no one above her. I know my mama, 'cause she told me her truth. Life is, I know, it can be a little confusing. I don't know the difference between winning and losing. Every time I find a line that I can walk on, it slips from view. But when it all goes dark and I start losing vision, I just think about her and I know what I'm missing. I gotta go back to telling my truth. It was my mama who taught me I could tell my truth. Sometimes it's all that I could do. Looking in from the outside, it may not seem like much, but I'll tell you now, if that's what you're thinking, the truth can be the difference between swimming and sinking. I think my mama just told me her truth. I think my mama just told me her truth. And
Mama always told her the truth, from Mary K Burke, and the album Sweet is the Melody. Mary's here with me in the studio right now, and we were sort of saying off air there, it's not the only song where your mum has figured it in it, but it's obviously been in your thoughts, obviously, when you've done the album.
Absolutely, yes. Well, because Mulray Bay, as we were saying there, has also got mother in it as well, and brothers and sisters. And I think in Ireland especially, you know, we are all quite sentimental people, you know, and we have this. There's still a, what would you call it over there? There's a just an Irish way. Like, for example, even like I don't want to depress anybody on the radio, but even like my mum's wake in Ireland, I couldn't believe it, because there was like people from everywhere, you know, came to the wake, and you know, people came in and just took over our house for 3 days and stuff, and it just showed such a great kind of community spirit, and you just don't get that kind of thing in the middle of a city, you know. It's like two cars and through the town and off you go, you know. And you know, in fact, I said to my brother, when I die, I want to be waked in this house, and he says, you'll not be getting waked in here. He says I'll be the last one out of here. So so I don't know, I may send over a wee box with my ashes in it or something.
So obviously that. You had the album out a couple of months ago, and then obviously your mum passing had
definitely
some effect on it.
Big time.
And you've been off air on Celtic Music Radio as well, because you've got other
I'm off air
problems.
because, well, you can probably hear it in my voice when I'm speaking, but I have the left side of my sinus has become completely blocked, and I've been getting different treatments for 3 months, and then they sent me for a CT scan, and it shows that whole side is just totally blocked, and there's a bone that needs to be moved, and before they can get in to drain it. So I've got the date now for the operation, but they said obviously if it got any worse meantime, or if there was a cancellation, they would get me in, because I discovered over just the last few days that I can sing, but it just doesn't sound the same, you know. I just hear that it's like hearing somebody with the cold on their head all the time, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable up on the stage singing under them circumstances. So, and obviously you need to be able to breathe and properly when you're singing and doing all that. So and I decided about the radio you know, I came back one night and I just, my heart wasn't just done it the same, you know. And I didn't want to say to Celtic Music Radio, well, I'll come back in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. Because to me, grief is just something nobody knows how long it's going to take you to get over it. And some people just never get over it. But to be able to, you know, go on and function as normal is hard. And I think it's around this time of year as well.
Yes, it does
very,
affect,
very difficult. You know, it just hits you even harder. So that's
yeah. So that's all the downside sort of thing. But you've got a happy side as well come out of
absolutely
this family.
I have 3 weeks after my mum died, I got a phone call from my son to say, "You're a grandma." And I just thought somebody was playing a joke on me at first, and I says, "What do you mean I'm a grandma?" He says, "You're a grandma and you have been for 2 years, and you've got a grandson called Ollie," which obviously, you know, none of us knew about. So I couldn't ever explain to anybody the feeling that I felt when my son told me that. You know, my world went from one of total sorrow to just being totally elated and happy. And when I saw his picture and everything, I don't know, I just thought, how much more can one person take in such a small space of time? It was such a shock. But as I said, a good shock, and I have now met Ollie a few times, and he's just absolutely gorgeous. There's something really beautiful and special about him, and maybe every granny thinks that about their grandchild. But I think the only part that makes me sad is that I missed, you know, 2 years, out of his life, which it can't be helped because I didn't know about him. So, and I want to kind of make it my mission to be the best granny in the world that I can be to Ollie, and obviously to support my son as well. So, you know, some people say that you know, God gives and He takes away, and I think that actually has happened in this case to me. So it's it's very hard to explain it to anybody.
Well, on the album, you've got 2 songs that you've written yourself.
Yeah.
And they're both, I guess, one's Ireland and how you've missed Ireland over the years, and the other's Glasgow, which is your home now, sort of thing.
Yes.
So they're both kind of related, I guess.
Well, they are. You see, the both songs are co-writes. One was a guy called James Stevenson, and I think James might be listening in. And James wrote the lyrics of Glasgow, and it was his kind of personal story about Glasgow. And then he contacted me and asked if I'd be interested in composing the music for it. So I said yes, I'll certainly give it a try, and that's really how it came about. But and we hadn't decided what to do with the song, and then we had obviously the tragedy of the Clutha with the helicopter went in, and we decided to we done a video of it, and we dedicated it to the people that lost their lives and the Clutha that night. So it's just a lovely song. You know, it could be about any city, really. You know, you could write it about Dublin or whatever, but it had special meaning for James, and I just felt very flattered that he asked me to put the music to it. It actually sounds kind of, it's country, but it's got a wee Celtic feel to it. So there's maybe a wee bit of the Irishness creeping onto it, you know, there as well. But I think it's good. Yeah.
Well, it is quite a long track, so we might not hear it all, but we'll hear it. We better go to an ad break, and we'll come back and hear it in just a second or two.
No problem.
Discover a feast of Scotland at the Arasig Bar and Restaurant. Situated in the stunning courtyard of the Merchant Square in Glasgow, we only use the finest natural ingredients that Scotland's larder can provide. And alongside our intriguing wine list, we have an amazing collection of Scottish malt whiskies and a fine selection of craft ales. You'll always find a warm Scottish welcome at the Arasig, a feast of Scotland's finest food. Call us on 0141 553 1010 or book online at thearasigrestaurant.co.uk.
Pristine home cleaning. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Not enough time to have your house looking the way you would really love it? Call us at Pristine Home Cleaning on 0141 641 1490 and we'll arrange to give you a free no obligation quotation to have your house sparkling from top to bottom, exactly the way you want it. If you like our prices, we will clean your home with our guarantee that we will get it right first time or fix it for free. Pristine Home Cleaning. We don't cut corners, we clean them. Call 0141 641 1490 or visit online.
Visit the Amazon store at amazon.celticmusicradio.net and support your favourite music station. Celtic Music Radio earns a small commission on any purchases you make through Amazon, but only if you use our link. You could buy our album of the week or music from our playlists. In fact, anything you buy at Amazon through our link contributes to our funds. So if you're buying music, DVDs, books, a camera, or even a washing machine from Amazon, go via our link, amazon.celticmusicradio.net.
95 FM.
Looking to tomorrow, but I know I have a friend here helping me. I feel her caress me, like a child she'll dress me, with memories she gives out oh so free. In each friendly face a reason to believe, though her face is gone I just can't help but breathe. I could never see a time I'd want to leave. Glasgow fills every breath that I breathe. I don't need to reach out for the stars. They are here with me. Watching our broad river, life taker and life giver, standing on the bank now as she flows. Stories she could tell us, but she would never sell us. Like her tides, we have our highs and lows. I wish everyone could feel now what she feels. In her fast flow there's a love that's all too real. I could never see a time I'd want to leave. Glasgow fills every breath that I breathe. I don't need to reach out for the stars. They are here with me. And nights they feel much colder. The city never fails to warm my heart. And when streets are walked no longer, each footstep's left us stronger. For the past will live forever in each heart. For this is my home city and my town. I I say this now to those who put her down. I could never see a time I'd want to leave. Glasgow fills every breath that I breathe. I don't need to reach out for the stars. They are here with me. I could never see a time I want to leave. Glasgow fills every breath that I breathe.
That's the sound of Glasgow from Mary K Burke. Sweet as the Melody is the title of the album, and Mary is here in the studio with me. That one's all about your new hometown, Glasgow.
Well, I've been at it now, must be 35 years. So, and I'm actually thinking I'm moving back the other way now.
It does seem to be the other way. You've lots of Lisa McHugh, Jackie Sharkey,
Yeah,
so on there now, over there in Ireland, but you've come this direction.
yeah. As I said, Jackie and I used to sing around the Irish pubs many years ago. But she was brought up here in Glasgow, but her people were from Donegal, so she moved back over. So, no, it's funny, and Lisa McHugh as well. Yeah, I met Lisa one night as well. She's a nice girl.
Yeah. So this album's out. What's the plans for 2016 for you?
Well, after I get this out of the way, and hopefully everything is in fine working order again, I have a promoter in Dungiven, MC Star Promotions, and they have taken me on to their roster, and will be putting together some gigs for me for over in Ireland. I would actually like to go out again and do maybe some clubs in Scotland again. I'd probably have to phone up and tell him I was Tanya. I don't know. But it's funny, I can see Summer on and all, some of the bands, Texas Gun and that. Them bands were all around when I was on the country scene as well. And very, very occasionally some people will contact me and say, did you used to sing on the country music scene in Scotland? And yeah, I says, under a different name though.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know there's people like Dorothy and Jimmy Hogan will remember you fondly.
yeah.
Saw them last night. So.
Oh, did you tell them I was
Yeah,
on today?
yes.
Well, I hope they do, because they gave us a Band of the Year award one time, and I remember when I was leaving Nevada as well, and they were all crying and give me flowers, and I was crying, and it was unreal. So I miss the kind of friendliness of the country music clubs, here. It's a nice wee thing that's kind of going on.
Yeah. Well, time is kind of beating us. We're
I know.
we're getting out of here. You've got a few people you want to give a
I've
mention
got a
to.
few. I'll try and remember them all. I had a wee kind of list there, but I'd like to first say hi to Seamus and Tipperary, and to Eamon Hayes down in London, who's listening in. And to James Stevenson, who had said, and to my friend Carlo Bammons in Belgium, and gosh, there's so many. I would be here all day, Stuart, and I better not, because I'll put you over your time.
Yeah.
Just anybody who's listening in, thank you very much, and thank you to all the people for supporting my music, and please keep it coming, because I need it. I have a third album as well, which I've written completely. So that will be the next
I'll get
offering.
you in for that one again.
Yes.
Where can people get this album? You got to give it a wee
Well,
plug.
if you go to Bandcamp, that's just www.bandcamp.com, and you click on the buy link on there. There's an address, or you just put in your address or whatever, so you can pay it by PayPal or whatever. You can also download the album. It's high quality downloads as well. And any DJs that are wanting it, I've got some will accept download codes, which are quite handy for me, you know. I save the postage as well. So I can do that for DJs, or again, I can send a hard copy over as well.
Well,
so
it's been great to meet up with you once again, because our paths never cross, because I'm in here at lunchtime, you're in at tea time.
Right. And yet we've known each other for many years. Why don't you go for a pint sometime? Tell Shona.
Well, thanks a lot, and best of luck with the album.
Thank you
hopefully
very much,
you get back to full health after your operation.
I hope so, and stop sounding like Miss Piggy.
All the best.
All the best, Stuart. Thank you so much for bringing me in. Thank you.
And that's almost it from me, Stewart Fenwick on Celtic Country. See you again same time next week, fingers crossed.
Stop the world and let me off. I'm tired of going round and round. I've played the game of love and lost. So stop the world and let me off. My dreams are shattered, can't you see? Now you no longer care for me. I miss the wonder of your kiss. How could you leave me here like this? Stop the world and let me off.